Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's Ro, and today I am going to be sharing with you a tutorial of how I made that ghost backpack that I already posted over on my Instagram. We are going to be using the KSCRAFT Big Ghost Tag with box die set, and this is how it looks. This is already available on Amazon and on AliExpress, and I will be linking that down below. Here I am going to show you how the die looks like when you cut it. So there's that ghost and the box. And to make this backpack, we are going to need 2 of the boxes because that will be the pockets for the side pockets for our backpack. So there's that, and let's just put that aside. To start making our backpack, let's bring out our trusty bowl. So if you don't have this bowl, this is available at Walmart, at Target, and I don't know who else has it, but it's the 6.75-inch bowl. And what I did here is I traced it onto a white cardstock, but that is optional. What you can also do is just trace it onto the paper, the pattern paper that you are going to be using. I am just doing this. I traced it onto the cardstock because I want my backpack to be sturdy and not flimsy, which is why I like to use a couple of layers. This piece measures 6.75 by 8, so 8 is our height, and as you can see, I only cut the upper part of that circle. So we are left with this arch looking piece, and this is just enough for us to put our ghost. So that's how it's gonna look when you put the ghost onto our cover. Up next, if you're doing some sewing, you will be doing it right after you glue your ghost onto the front of the backpack. And then after that, you are also going to be cutting a few more of the arch pieces, because that will be for the back cover and the inside if you want to line your backpack. Next, we have already sewed our ghost onto the bag, and we also covered the inside of that front cover as well as the back. So for the back, I also sewed that one. And then up next, let's cut some pieces of cardstock. Let's cut 2 pieces of 4.75 by 5.5 plain paper, and then we are going to score only on 3 sides, and that's 0.5. Again, 0.5 only on 3 sides. And you will be doing that with the other paper as well. Up next, we are going to cut our mat pieces, and that's 2 pieces of 3.5 by 4.75. So that's just a little bit smaller from the side pieces that we made. And then next, we are going to glue those printed paper onto the plain paper, the sides that we just made. And if you are gonna sew, you are sewing right after you glue these pieces. So here I am just showing you how it's gonna look once you put that pocket, the side pocket. Also reminding you that you need 2 of those pockets, and do not glue the pockets yet. We are going to do that last. Up next, we are going to be making our zipper strip, and you will need 112 by 2.5 and score that one at 0.5. That's what I'm doing right now. And then you are also going to need another piece, which is 12 by 1.75, and you are also going to score that at 0.5. Please take note of where the score marks are at. So you can see the bigger piece, the score mark is on the top, and the smaller piece, the score mark is on the bottom. Up next, we are going to put the zipper. Please make sure that once you put the zipper, the width of this zipper piece will be the same width as our sides. You make sure that when you put this zipper part together, you also have your side piece, so you can check and make sure that you have the same width. Once you have the right width, you glue the zipper onto the paper, and then once that's dry, you are going to sew it. Once you have sewn your zipper piece, we are going to do some snips. And if you have been watching my other tutorials when I make purses, backpacks, we are doing this tedious part, which is cutting the snips. And then I didn't finish it, but I just put it to the side and I finished that off cam. Next part is going to be our backpack straps, the back straps. And for that, you are going to need 2 pieces of 1.25 by 8.5. And then you are also going to need the mat, the printed paper, which is just a little bit smaller than our orange pieces. So usually what I do when I make mats, the printed paper is just 0.25 inch smaller than the base, which is going to be that plain. And then here we are going to also need 1 piece of 0.5 by 5.5, and that is this piece, and that is going to be our handle for our bag. Let's glue that, and I also added in an ephemera piece just to cover the edges. Up next, let's glue the bottom of the straps, and once that's dried, you can also sew it just to keep it together so it doesn't come off. The last piece we are going to need is going to be the bottom of our bag, and that is going to be 6.75 by 4.75. So that is this piece that I am going to show right here. So that's again 6.75 by 4.75, and you are going to score 0.5 inch on the 4.75 side. And then again, you can mat it. And the mat is, again, as I mentioned earlier, 0.25 inch smaller than our bottom piece, not including the flaps. Next thing we need to do is we are going to put everything together, and first thing we are going to glue together would be the bottom plus the front of our bag. And then next is we are going to glue the sides. Once you glue the sides, the next thing we are going to glue would be the zipper part. This is the trickiest part you glue whenever I make a backpack or any purse. It's a zipper part. Also, I always mention this, but whenever I'm off cam, please, I'm sorry about that, but please don't worry because you're not missing anything. I'm just like putting glue or doing something, but it's not relevant. You're not missing any part of the tutorial. So right now I am just putting the glue onto our front piece of our bag, and then we are going to put the zipper. Also reminding you that when you're putting the zipper part, please be patient. This takes a while, but yeah. You'll notice here that there's going to be an extra few, maybe an inch of that zipper piece, but that's okay. Do not cut that off because we are also going to glue that onto the sides. And you don't need to cut it, trim it down, because it's just enough for us to glue everything together. So that's how it's gonna look. Once we put the zipper piece onto the front of our bag. Next up, before we glue our side pieces, we are going to glue the back cover of our bag. Up next, we are going to glue that back piece to our zipper part. And the last thing that we are going to glue would be the sides. I am doing this because it'll be easier for me to reach onto the inside so that I can put these two pieces together. Once that is glued down, you can now open your zipper and just reach inside so you can make sure that everything is glued on properly. And once you're done, we are going to glue the sides. Like I mentioned earlier, these two pieces will overlap, but all you need to do is just to cut a part of the flap of that side. So you'll be able to insert and glue these two together. I think this part is optional. You can always just glue the flap of this side and the flap of the zipper part together, but then I wanted my bag to be as flat as possible, and that's why I do that. Also, if it's needed, you can also do the same thing with the other side if there's an overlap. And that's that. Let's just glue everything. And once it's glued down, we are done with our backpack. All that's left to do is to put our the side pockets and decorate it however we want. So as I said earlier, we are going to need two of these pockets, so I made two here, and yeah, we just have to glue it onto the side. And we are done. So this is how it's going to look once you put the side pockets onto our bag, and then we put our bow and we are done. You can embellish it however you want, but I didn't want to embellish it further, so I just glued the bow here and called it a day. And here you go. We have finished our ghost backpack. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you make one for yourself, and if you do, please don't forget to tag me. If you have any questions or need help with the tutorial, please feel free to reach out and I will help you the best way I can. I will also be including the measurements to make this bag, and yep, that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!